So did Ye take a likeness to you because you was from Chicago, or he never even knew about it?
Of course, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew what the vibes was. And then I ain't gonna lie, when I got my deal with DMX, I actually had a session with Ye. And like, Ye came to my session, played me a bunch of shit, gave me new beats, gave me new vibes or whatever. But I think it was a weird time for Ye, cause like, this is before Ye got on as a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Trying to find his way. And then me not working with LEP and them no more, my mentor, Bugs, who taught me how to be a producer, was still with them. So like, I was like a fish out of water myself. Like, you know, I just got a record deal and I'm just a rapper. I'm used to my producer telling me, this beat, yo, what you just said right there, that's the hook, let's do this, whatever, or let's throw bars together for the hook, and yo, short, you know what I'm saying? Just so a mentor in the studio, yeah. So I was just, no DMX in the studio, no nothing, just having a budget with 500 grand and just, you know what I'm saying, vibed out, you know what I'm saying? Studio time, trying to figure it out, but no type real direction, you know?
Amazing, bro. Like, how?
I mean, they was giving a lot of money away back then, man. And a lot of people was getting deals. They was getting publishing deals with no placements. I got big draws, a fucking publishing deal for like 500 grand. And we had prospective placements, and we didn't even get nothing placed until fucking Destiny Child like 2 years later.
It's crazy.
Real shit. And you could be living off of money back then, off the perspective. He's gonna be a star. I'll give him $2 million.
I'm not even gonna take that much credit for it. I think that DMX was that hot back then that when he did his label deal for Bloodline, it was already etched in stone. Like how I do my label deal right now, whatever, I know that my artist is gonna get this advance, it's already laid out. You know what I'm saying? You can sign these many artists with this type of, you know what I'm saying, funding, this overhead, you know what I'm saying? It's laid out in your contract when you do your label deal. So I think that was just the fucking blessing of just being around DMX.
Were you learning the business at this time?
Fuck also? No. I just told you I was getting drunk, drinking tequila, nigga, with a dog and smoking blunts and cigarettes everywhere. What are you talking about? I was little DMX.
Yo, it's crazy.
I mean, shit. So when you came out of Bloodline, what was next?
No. How did you come out of Bloodline?
Oh, shit. So, like, damn. So I remember my last great experiences with X. We was in Toronto. And like, I've never seen a nigga do this. This nigga X, we was in the studio session, he drunk 2/5 of Remy Grand Cru, like by himself, 2/5, like in a one studio session. And we left out, shout out to Shira, I just spoke to her recently or whatever. We left out with his wife, with the gang or whatever. And like niggas left his keys to his car, to his Benz that he had inside the studio. The nigga was so in his bag, and he's such a dog that the nigga was like, hey, yo, leave me the fuck alone real quick. Nigga laid down, was like, was crying like a dog, nigga, and just went to sleep, nigga, on a corner, nigga, by his car, nigga, on the sidewalk or whatever. And niggas was like, you don't wake up the dog when he's sleeping. Boy, we stayed out there for like 5 hours while that nigga just slept by his Benz, nigga, the whole shit. And like, that was the last memory. So I didn't have no producer, so I left Toronto.
So being that he was your idol, when you saw that, in your mind, was you like, nah, I'm not doing that shit?
No, this is DMX. He's a dog, nigga. What are you talking about? Like, this is not, he's the dog.
Everybody's following
like
the rules.
You said you don't wake up the dog.
And he's cool with that.
They dead ass serious said that. You do not wake up the dog when he sleep, boy, the whole crew, nigga, the same way. We just strolled in here with all my peoples and my niggas, boy, we sat out there and wait till that nigga woke up. Ain't nobody leave, nigga. It was
I
right
never
there.
heard. That's crazy.
Rest in peace to X.
Nah, hell yeah.
Given that we know the history now of like the drug abuse and all that stuff.
I never knew.
You never saw
Never
it.
seen it.
He never did it in front of you.
Liquor and weed. You know he used to have his blood. He called it blood. This back when niggas was still drinking Alizé. He would mix the Remy with the Alizé and a water bottle and call that shit blood. And that's like, you know what I'm saying, how I went. So from there, I go back to Edgewater, New Jersey, and I was just lost in the sauce, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love music, but I didn't have a producer. I was just a rapper at the time. You know what I'm saying? And taking up out of that, like, and then also to sprinkle it in. Like, I did, if y'all want to go check it out while y'all watching, it's called Dog for Life, me featuring DMX. It was on the Exit Wound soundtrack. Right. We did that while we was in Toronto or whatever. And like, y'all go listen to that shit, because I sound like a fucking chipmunk on that shit. Like, I sound like a kid, like, for real, for real. So,
did the label get dropped, or?
No, look, I'm gonna tell you. So I go back to Chicago, back to LEP, to all the niggas that I went through all that bullshit with, because my mentor, Bugs, was the producer. And I couldn't really make music without him. So I swallowed the bullet like, man, yo, nigga, we went through our trial and tribulation. You know, niggas gonna fight regardless, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm from Chicago, like, you know what I'm saying? I done seen niggas throw hand and break a nigga jaw and be friend with a nigga, you know what I'm saying, after the fact. But I was thinking for my career, like, I knew it clicked to me, like, this ain't going far without me having no producer or somebody to show me how to do my shit. Right. So I went back to work with Bugs. It's in the era of two-way pages, Scottsdale, I had that shit. And I went back, and my mom and them got word that I went back or whatever, and I was back in Chicago. So my mom was always very fearful for me, you know what I'm saying, overprotective. And one day
you must have gave her like 80 heart attacks.
Word. I'm sure, and I love my mom to this day. All this shit, we not even close. Like all, I'm
even to this day?
No, I don't have a real relationship with my mother at all.
Even with your success?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep telling y'all this shit. So from there, I'm at the studio with LEP and all them, and my mom is blowing up my pager. Hit me like, yo, I want to see you. Let's go to Red Lobster. This back when Red Lobster was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it was like, yo, like, all right, let's go. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to Red Lobster, but I'm about to go back to my crib in New Jersey. You could take me to the mall, because I want to buy some stuff for myself, because I had the bag. Like, I had a couple dollars. So she come pick me up from the studio with LEP and them niggas. And the studio used to be on 72nd and Halston in Chicago. And we ride and we going to the mall, and my mom getting all these mysterious phone calls. Hello? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be parked by the Walgreens on this, that, and third. And I'm like, who are you talking to? And she like, no, I just got remarried. I'm talking to my new husband. But mind you, I lived in Jersey. She got remarried. I didn't know the nigga or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? So I just took it for what it was worth. I go in the stores, buy my clothes. I come out. And like, she had a little BMW at the time, and like 2 big Samoan niggas is about a BMW. So they like, she like, Chris, meet them. And he like, yeah, what's up, Chris? How you doing? Da, da, da. We hear you do music. And I'm like, yeah, you know, nigga, I'm Iceberg. What's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. They like, she like, Chris, you gotta go to school. She go jump in her car, lock the door, nigga, pop the trunk. Motherfucking this bag's packed and all type of shit or whatever. Now I'm fighting in the middle of the parking lot with the Samoan niggas. They pulling the bags out the trunk or whatever, throwing them in another bag. They throw like the plastic cuffs on me, nigga. My mom skirt off like, skirt. And now I'm in the back of a fucking car with 2 Samoan niggas I never met in my life, nigga, and they just driving me somewhere. So now I'm cuffed up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
But to your understanding, who were they?
I don't know these niggas. I don't know nothing.
Were they truancy?
No,
were they, what
no,
the fuck were they?
I don't know. I just walked out the mall and met 2 niggas. So from there, we riding. We get to like downtown Chicago. So I'm thinking like, maybe she put me in like a boarding school. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think, I don't know what's going on. Downtown Chicago. Now damn, we at O'Hare Airport. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So we going through that. We going through TSA. So mind you, like the 2 big Samoan dudes got their hands on me. And while I'm going through TSA, I get through TSA and it's a black lady there. And she like, why you got your hands on that boy like that? I'm like, I don't know these niggas. Snatch away, run. I run into a dead end on some bullshit. So at that point, I'm just like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? They had all the paperwork or whatever. So my mom had signed all her parental rights away to like some crazy boarding school, like concentration camp shit. So from there, I flew from Chicago to Las Vegas. On a flight from Las Vegas, they gave me the letter and I opened it up and it's my mom basically saying like, yo, you're now a product of this little concentration school shit. I don't have nothing to do with it, blah, blah, you in these people's hands now. I get there, I fly to Spokane, Washington, and from there they drive me to Thompson Falls, Montana. And I'm in this fucking concentration camp type shit, you know what I'm saying? And like where they cut me off from the world. No TV, no radio, no nothing. They were paying $5,000 a month for me to stay there. And like it's a bunch of kids.
When you say that, your pops was in on this?
My pops wasn't fucking with me because I ran away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I ain't give him nothing to fight against. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, nigga, you ain't put me on in no game. So shit, your mama wanna do this, nigga. It is what it is, nigga. You did that. Right. So now I'm in this concentration camp type shit and fucking it's kind of like you couldn't look at girls. Like they start you out at level 1. So when you come in at level 1, and this how they played me too. Like they did a whole group assembly when I got to the shit. And they like, yeah, we hear you're a rapper. I'm like, yeah, you know, I rap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm signed to DMX. So they got all the whole facility there. And they like, yo, you're a level 1. We're gonna make you a level 2 if you go jump in this swamp infested water right now with this alligator. And da-da-da-da. I'm like, what the fuck? So when you level 1, you don't got no salt, no pepper. Like, they strip you from everything. You already can't watch TV, you can't listen to they cut you off from the whole world. So like, I went in there, jumped in the pond, they like screamed for like a 30 seconds. Ah! I'm screaming in that shit. They removed the whole fucking facility away from that shit and pulled me out of there. Like, you're nothing here. We don't give a fuck about you being famous and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Took me to the shit. I was acting up there. Like, so when you act up there, they send you to some shit called worksheets to where you just sit and stare at a wall for 6 hours and you can't eat nothing or whatever. They strip you of all the food or whatever. When you fuck up there, they send you to some shit called the Hobbit. And the Hobbit is just like a blank fucking bed of just wood. They feed you 3 meals a day. The first meal is a bagel. The second meal is a piece of bread with a cheese on it. And the third meal is a lima bean burrito. You fuck up at the Hobbit, they send you to Jamaica. It's called High Impact, which I actually had.
Jamaica, the country?
Yes, which I had a pleasure to visit because I was fucking up everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I had to walk with a 100-pound brick on my back for 100 laps. The lap was a mile to get sent back to where I was.
All right, during this time, who are you in contact with?
Nobody, nigga. They cut me off from the world. I ain't know 9/11 happened. I ain't know Aaliyah died. I ain't know nothing, nigga.
Yo.
Oh, God. So, like, while you in this concentration camp, and y'all could pull this shit up, it was called Spring Creek Academy. If you Google it now, they got all type of fucking child molestation. They had to shut the shit down. Like, nigga, the feds came and shut this shit down. Like, this like some movie type shit.
But
like,
they never got you.
Hell no. So I'm in that shit. You never know everything. I was cut off from the world. So I couldn't talk to my parents until I worked my way up to a certain level. I couldn't do this, that, and the third. You get there and there's some 10-year-old nigga that been in the fucking camp since he was 7 that's a higher level than you. Like, pussy, sit up, 50 push-ups. Then I ain't like, get your little lame ass away. You know what I'm saying? So it sets you up to act out. And meanwhile, while you acting out, your parents are in a seminar as well where they have other people that have kids from the camp where their moms and dads are like basically telling them this is the best thing you ever did for your child. Like blah, blah, blah. So they paying all this money monthly. It was a lot of us in that shit, you know what I'm saying? And out the blue, like, I ain't gonna lie, my dad just came and got me on some shit. Like, man, like, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of went against my mom, like, you know what I'm saying? Because these people were doing people dirty. Like, you'll be in this program for so long, and like when you turn 18, you get out the program, but your exit plan could be like $50 in a bus ticket. And that's just it, nigga.
And you just there.
Yeah, I ain't know 9/11 happened. I ain't know nothing. I was cut off from
like
the whole world.
Was it like a school or anything in that shit?
You know, schoolish.
Yeah, schoolish.
Yeah.
From what
How
year
long
to
were you
what
there?
Yeah.
I was there for like almost a year. I was there for like 10 months, and my dad came and got me. Like, I'll never forget it. He came and got me. And this shit like a movie. He took me to like Target or Best Buy, some shit like that or whatever. I bought Nas, I bought the Blueprint and I bought Nas album. I forget, Got Yourself a Gun, whatever Nas album that was, or whatever, with one mic and all that still matter. I bought them. And I didn't know Aaliyah died. Remember, I was with DMX, nigga. Aaliyah was tatted on the back of my neck. Yeah, like,
yo, what?
Hold on, you was there.
Aaliyah,
Jay-Z. When they were shooting.
The ethers on that shit.
Aaliyah was at the What These Bitches Want From a Nigga video shoot. She was one of the nicest women I ever met in my life. She was there with X, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't know none of this shit had happened. And like, I just went from having a record deal to be stripped from all that shit, and my dad came and got me, and that's kind of how I like left that, and that's how I lost my deal with DMX.
Is this the reason that you and your mother don't have a good relationship?
It's a layer of the cake.
Was there any appreciation for that?
On my end?
Yeah.
Now being an adult, looking back.
Being 13.
Yeah.
Drinking, smoking, all over the, you know what I mean?
You
like
were wild
for a parent,
yeah.
for a parent, that's a nightmare, bro. That's
Looking
like,
back on
what the hell?
perspective, she might have, you know, saved my life indirectly because of the people that I was around.
You were rolling with criminals. You like criminals, like big criminals. You dealing drugs, you drinking, you smoking.
And finger popping holes in the backseat.
Yeah, in a hotel with $500,000.
You
like,
in DMX, he's sleeping by the car,
just drunk as shit.
stealing your bra.
Listen, nigga, I'm sold. When is the documentary coming out? Let me say when is it coming out, son?
It makes
We working. It's work in progress.
This is incredible.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.